Hello friends, now I'll be reading the Hindu editorial from 1st May 2023 at 80 words per minute in 5 seconds. Begin. Private firms, companies, and public sector units can enter into agreements with the Union Ministry of Culture to adopt and maintain state owned archaeological sites or monuments. Businesses that enter such agreements are going to be known as monument mitras. The central government is eager that this scheme, which began in February, leads to the adoption of 500 protected sites by August 15 and the adoption of another 500 sites shortly thereafter. This number represents a tenfold increase in the number of sites being brought under the ambit of the controversial Adopt a Heritage Scheme of 2017. Unless the revamped scheme is suspended, the nation's precious pluralistic heritage stands at the threshold of obliteration. Under the purportedly overhauled Adopt a Heritage Scheme, businesses may use their corporate social responsibility funds at select sites to construct and maintain ticket offices, restaurants, museums, interpretation centers, toilets, and walkways. They may drastically illuminate monuments, set up guided tours, hold cultural programs, and fix equipment for light and sound shows. Some of these activities appear to be progressive measures aimed at improving visitor centers and amenities. However, scrutiny establishes perils. To begin, just as permitting a watch company without expertise in bridge engineering to maintain a colonial era bridge in Morbi, Gujarat, possibly contributed to heart-wrenching tragedy. So, to giving businesses rather than trained professionals a chance of build museums and interpretation centers and develop their content threatens India's understanding of its own past. The current plan also sidelines the mandate of Archaeological Survey of India and abandons the Sarnath Initiative guidelines devised by the ASI, the Jetty Trust, US, the British Museum, and National Culture Fund to safekeep excavated objects and present them to visitors in an engaging manner. Second, many monuments selected for the scheme, including the stupas at Sanji, the Brihadeshwar temple in Tanjavur, and Akbar's palace city at Fatehpur Sikri, already have tourist infrastructure. What is driving the need for new ticket offices and gift shops? Further, is it acceptable to let businesses occupy prime public land and build their own brands? Another provision of the Adopt a Heritage Scheme at the cost of further diminishing grounds around iconic monuments. These grounds are valuable spaces. If excavations are carried out in them, then they may lead to the discovery of antiquities that can offer clues into the historical context of monuments. Primarily for this reason, new construction in these areas has hitherto been prohibited. Another danger of implementing the adopt a heritage scheme is that it will undermine local communities and their relationships with historical sites. Guided tours led by employees of large businesses who have received permission to adopt a monument may endanger livelihoods of those who have lived near the site and made a living by regaling visitors with stories of its colorful past. The potential of big businesses to underwrite a monument's illumination is also troubling. Keeping these spots open from dawn to dusk has limited footfall and thus preserved them from excessive wear and tear. Night tourism will also pull electricity away from rural homesteads and hospitals. Many monuments selected for the Adopt a Heritage scheme are on ASI lists and are therefore protected by the just named central agency. Others chosen for the scheme are protected by the Archaeology Directorate of the state that they are located in. However, there are some monuments selected for the scheme that are not protected by the ASI and are in states without archaeology directorates. One fears that businesses that sign agreements with the Union Ministry of Culture to adopt these monuments will be able to alter their historical character without much opposition. Implementing the scheme holds forth another danger. What will happen to monuments not adopted by monument mitras in the predetermined time frame? According to media reports, the Uttar Pradesh government has started turning them over such monuments to the tourism department to convert them into hotels. They include Chunar Fort, a citadel overlooking Barveswagar Lake, and several residences built by Awad's Nawabs. The UP government's decision confirms that despite now being housed under the Ministry of Culture rather than the Ministry of Tourism, the scheme is continuing to place reckless tourism and corporate interests over historical preservation. These two ministries have long been entwined. Even today, they are led by the same cabinet minister. What might corporate India instead do to look after the nation's built heritage? First, businesses can help citizens understand why monuments matter. This can be done by earmarking CSR funds for grants for researching, writing, and publishing high quality textbooks and developing imaginative and effective ways of teaching history. Traders and shopkeepers can give funds to school libraries and collecting archival materials including books, maps, and old photographs relevant to monuments in their vicinity that will lead students to establish the value of monuments. Stop. Please join the Telegram group in the comment section for the PDF. Thank you.